Today, we're going to talk about one of the most effective modalities to build starting strength. It's the dead bench press. I mean, this movement could be, think about why they call it a deadlift, because you're lifting dead weight. Where the dead bench press is called a dead bench press because there is no negative portion. You're pushing up off the bottom. So theoretically, you're starting in the most mechanical disadvantageous position you could be in at the bottom of the lift, because when you do a negative portion of the bench press, think about it, down, 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 down. You're storing elastic-like energy, which is going to assist you on the way up. Even if you have to pause for a whole second, you're probably going to have like 50+% of that elastic energy still there assisting you. So the buck stops here with the dead bench press. You're going to have to do it all on your own off the bottom. And what we want to do there is work it for single repetitions. So not just like 3, 4, 5 reps and just stopping for a second in between. I mean actual single repetitions. So the set scheme there is no rep scheme. It's always a single no matter what. Okay. The set scheme, however, we can go anywhere from working up to a max single, usually over 3 attempts, to like 6 to 8 reps with 30-second breaks if you're more in the beginning of a training cycle. So this could be used in preparation for a contest when you're trying to build starting strength, or it could be used in the off season if you're trying to develop that as a weak point. So if you're a more advanced lifter, I recommend using this actually in your strength peaking cycle. However, if you're more intermediate or starting out, you could use this as a beginning. You could use this at any point off season cycle, whatever. Okay, so we're going anywhere from a top single to up to like 8 with real short rest periods and a higher volume phase. And we want to keep in mind when we're doing this is you don't want to make this some bastardized rendition of a press. You want to set up the same way as you actually bench press so you get that direct transference. Okay, ready?
Yeah, pretty good. Too high?
You're going to set it up in the power rack, obviously, as we have here. We want to get the setup anywhere from like about almost right off your chest, like quarter-half inch off your chest, all the way to like 1.5 inches to 2 inches off your chest for a taller lifter, because the only advantage a tall man has in the bench press, I guess height doesn't matter, it's more long arms. The only advantage somebody with long arms has in the bench press is they have a longer eccentric portion of the movement. So, with those longer arms, you're gonna get more of a spring. Okay, so you get that free kind of ride off your chest because you're storing more elastic energy. Hence, you started off, more like 1.5 inches, 2 inches off your chest. Where if you're big barrel-chested, short-armed, you're gonna have to start off right near your chest. So we want to, when we get set up here, we want to set up how you do when you actually bench press. So if normally you bench press with your feet flat, you want to bench press with your feet flat here. If you're up on your toes, you're up on your toes. So you want to try to mimic that as best you can. This is just, this is a means to an end. We are doing this to get your bench press better. There is no other reason. This is not an exercise of futility to see how much you can dead bench. This is to help your bench press, so you got to set it up right.
Let's throw a plate on to start.
So getting set up just like a normal bench press here. Push it up for a single repetition. He's gonna see that was a good job there. He got tight, then explode. It's not like you just hang out there loosey goosey, then all of nowhere just explode. You get all that tension, get the position tight, then explode. Boom. Okay, so now if we're really going, we stop. Anywhere from 30 seconds or longer usually, and then do another rep. So just do like 3 in a row and pause it for a second so I can show them something.
Okay.
Go like 3 in a row and just a quick 1 second pause. Okay, this is not dead benching. This is not inherently bad. It's just not, it's not a dead bench. So this is you want to actually stop and reset each time. It's 1 rep. Deadlift, dead bench. You're moving dead weight with no elastic-like energy assisting you from the stretch shortening cycle with a negative. Okay, and this is gonna build hellacious starting strength at the bottom of your chest, because if you think about it, that if you get enough speed off your chest, there is no such thing as a sticking point. You can systematically outrun them with enough force off your chest. This is good for sport, good for powerlifting, and good for just all-around badassery.
Yeah, we make videos.
There we go.
Or Brazilian.
There you go. So normally what you would do is you would do this as a, as a secondary movement, or I call it a supplementary movement instead of like an accessory movement, because it's very similar to the bench press. Right after you bench press would be a good time to do this. However, there could be a time and a place where certain people could do this on a secondary bench press day, like as the first exercise. But definitely I'd recommend, if you're only bench pressing 1 day a week, you do this as a supplementary exercise. And in certain circumstances, it might be okay to do it on a secondary bench press to start out. But if you're doing that, you generally wouldn't want to be like maxing out, or going to be more like doing 6 to 8 singles, 30-second break with that kind of submaximal weight. And I should have added this earlier. Each time you do this, you want to get tight in position, then explode. But once you explode, you want to put max force in the weight. No pussyfooting around, just boom, 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 boom.